Welcome back to another episode of Trading Levels. I just flipped on the record button. This is live right now. I wanted to walk through maybe a tougher-ish example. So down here on the 10-minute chart, we've got the pattern B signal. We've got the red dots, meaning that the sellers are 1.5 times the buyers over a sustained period of time. And so I'm looking for an entry on the 1-minute chart. We've got a good indicator on the right at the signal point, but what I'm looking for is this to pull back to the level. So let me zoom in a little bit. So I'm looking for this on the 10-minute chart to pull back a little bit higher. Notice how the bars on the 1-minute are all kind of like a barcode. They're all hovering at around the same height. We've got some engulfing bars here. The CVD regression is negative, and I'm seeing negative delta, but I'm not seeing price move down in conjunction with that negative delta. So what you want to see, and what is a good indicator to me that this is going to pull back at least up to the level, maybe this is a non-signal, but we've got negative delta with bars that are not moving down. So let's hang out and watch and see what happens here. So while we're waiting on that, this is starting to look pretty good. So hesitant without a full pullback. I'm like super hesitant here. So now we've got negative delta and it's moving. But now look, the stops need to go above the pivot here. So I'm going to enter. I'm going to take one. This might be a mistake. That's a huge stop. So normally I like it to pull back so that I can enter closer to that pivot high. I would enter with more contracts if I was closer to the pivot high, but since I don't want to take that much heat on multiple contracts, so normally my stop loss is 25 ticks and my take profit is 85 ticks, and then I have a break even at 20 ticks to go to break even plus. I can share this with you guys. It's nothing too exciting. So what'll happen is it'll snap to, there you go. It'll snap to 2 ticks. And this is where oftentimes I'm not going to move it, because if it was going to pull back now, now would be when it will. But this is looking pretty good at, let's say, so where are my targets? My targets are generally at the end of, at the next level. So the next level here on the 10-minute, oh, we're getting this. I know, as I mentioned before, I don't ever take signals on the 1-minute, but sometimes they're an indicator when things are going to happen. I'm just going to let it ride. My targets, generally you want them to be at one of the next levels. So there might be, this might be a good place on the 10-minute chart down here. So we're about to hit this level, which would be a good place to place a target. The next level, or the next area, would be the peak, or the peak of that pivot low. So I'm gonna go for it and put this at the peak of that pivot low. But there's a pretty good chance that at this level right here at 4345.7 that it will at least do something there. It'll react to that level. There's another level it's picking up way over here. You can see that. Oh, we might get stuck. We might get taken out here, but it's very choppy in this zone, so that's totally to be expected. Oh, and now we've got a signal over there on the 10-minute, a signal long. So normally what I do right now is with that signal long, I'd probably take my profit, but I'm going to let this play out and see if the pattern be down. You know, we had a really strong down day. So I'm going to wait and see if the pattern be down is strong. And you can see that signal went away. A lot of movement here. I might take this at 30 ticks just to, this is just sim right now. Yeah, I think this is going to get taken out. Looks like that signal is back on the 10-minute. And that happens in these choppy areas where we're bouncing between levels. So you'll get a level up here, maybe get 20 ticks out of it, and there we go. So that's an example of a trade. Could have taken it for a little over 30 ticks. Got into it late expecting a pullback. That's fine. Again, what I was looking for was negative delta, but price actually moving in that negative delta. Let's see what we could have gotten. So if we had taken it here, I didn't get like a great signal here. If this was like a divergent candle or something like that, but so could have maybe taken that for 50 if I was more aggressive and got in earlier. I mean, obviously the CVD was in the right direction, but I always wait for the pullback. If I'm seeing negative delta where the bars are just kind of, if anything, going up, then I won't take that until I see that the delta is actually affecting the price. I hope that helps explain kind of in more detail how I like to play some of these signals. And I will try to create more videos for you guys and talk to you soon.